Good morning, good morning, good morning to my beautiful friends. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Wake Up Call with Maui Paul. It is another wonderful day, and we are going to get it started right by saying some good things about ourselves. Before we get started, I just want to ask you guys to please share this stream with your friends so that this message can be amplified. Every morning at 9 a.m., I show up and basically go through a deck that I have called my I Am card deck. This deck I am. It says chock full of wonderful affirmations that we can say about ourselves to remind ourselves of the truth of who we are. And so the more that we share this far and wide, the better that the better that our communities are, because the more that our friends can learn the truth about themselves as well. Fact is that the world will tell us all manner of things about ourselves that aren't necessarily true in order to get us to spend our money a certain way, or vote a certain way, or think a certain way. And attention is a commodity in our digital age. And so let's pay attention to things that are edifying to us. Let's pay attention to things that build us up. Let's pay attention to things that are good for us to hear. Yeah. So every single morning, as I mentioned, I go through this I Am card deck, and then we do what's called playing the I Am game. And the I Am game is a very simple game. We basically, I will just ask you if you are the affirmation that we're going through today. So I'll say, are you whatever it is? So if the affirmation is smart, I'll say, are you smart? You'll say, I am smart, out loud. It's so important to say these things out loud. And the reason is because we believe what we say. So we tend to believe what we think, and we certainly tend to believe what we say. And so just saying it inside of our minds, or just watching but not saying it, is not nearly effective as just saying the words. And the only words that I'm asking you to say are words that are edifying to you. So, let's just get started by pulling a card off the top of the deck. Today, I am... I got some really interesting light patterns going on there. Let's put that over there. I am extraordinary. Ooh. I am extraordinary. I own my greatness and am so much more than ordinary. I am extraordinary. So, are you extraordinary? You are extraordinary. You own your greatness, and you are so much more than ordinary. We have a myth in society that says that there are certain people that are better than others. There are certain people, celebrities or successful business people or sports stars or movie stars or music people or royalty, that these people are somehow, they're the extraordinary ones, and that everybody else lives an ordinary day-to-day life. And it is an insidious lie. I haven't met a single person who is ordinary yet. I've only met people who refuse to or do not believe that they have anything else to offer the world, and so they just continue to do life, day to day, doing the same thing in and out all the time. And the fact is that everybody is extraordinary. We all have talents, we all have gifts, we all have abilities, and it is incumbent upon us as adults to develop those things and to be extraordinary in our communities, to be extraordinary in the circles that we run in. Being extraordinary doesn't mean having a lot of money, and it doesn't mean having a lot of power or influence. Being extraordinary just means being outside of the ordinary. It comes from Latin, extra, outside, ordinary. So it comes from being outside of the ordinary in a particular way. Everybody that I've ever met has some kind of a talent or ability, or something that makes them different or cool or interesting, and it's up to us to develop that stuff. Being extraordinary doesn't mean being better than the people around us. It means developing our natural talents such that we get to actually share them with others, and how cool that is. And so I think about ways that I'm extraordinary, and it's so funny because when I talk to other people about my life, about the things that I've done, oftentimes they're like, you need to write a book. You've done things that are so far outside of what other people have done. You've done so much different traveling and whatnot. And I just look at my life as being ordinary because I lived it. And it took me a while to realize that other people do the same thing. Other people look at their life as being ordinary because they lived the life. So to them, it's a nothing. I was watching a video the other day of a guy who was an entertainer on a couple of different cruise ships and was involved in and saved. He was involved in two shipwrecks, and in both of those shipwrecks, he was a hero who saved hundreds of people's lives. And he was talking about it as if this happens to everybody, as if everybody gets shipwrecked twice and saves other lives. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this guy who was an entertainer on these ships, not the captain, not the crew, this guy was just there to play music and to schmooze with passengers, was able to, through his direct actions, save the lives of hundreds of people. And this made it into the NTSB reports. And so but the way that he talked about it, he was ashamed of the fact that that he couldn't save them all. And he didn't think that what he had done was extraordinary at all. He thought that this was just something that everybody would do, or this was an experience that everybody had. And of course, it's not. It was an extraordinary experience that only he had, and his life was sufficiently interesting that somebody made a documentary about him, and then I watched it. So as we go out today, as we go and enjoy the life that we have, let's be proactive about expanding our gifts, whatever they are, and about really developing those and being the best version of ourselves. We don't need to be at the top of our field to be extraordinary. We don't need to be super rich to be extraordinary. We don't need to be super, a sports star or a movie star or a music star. We don't need to be born in a certain way to be extraordinary. The only thing that we need to do in order to be extraordinary is to develop ourselves and to recognize that our lives are worth the time and effort it takes to develop the parts of ourselves that are our natural talents and abilities. So I am extraordinary. I own my extraordinariness, even though to me it feels like it's ordinary, and it probably feels that way to you too. Just own the parts of you that are different. Own the parts of you that are recognized by others as being extraordinary. So I'm extraordinary today, and you are extraordinary too, and I recognize the extraordinariness in you. Aloha from paradise.